Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, we've got a massive 100,000-year-old evolutionary mystery to unpack today, answering the ultimate question: what exactly is intelligence? I want you to just picture a time, roughly 100,000 years ago. Obviously, there was no internet, no smartphones, no schools, and absolutely zero sprawling modern cities. It was just dense jungles, towering mountains, wild rivers, and this relentless, exhausting daily struggle just to survive. It's a wildly fascinating starting point. And when we look at how far we've actually come, we have to ask ourselves some pretty fundamental questions about how we even managed to get here.
Because it is literally the ultimate paradox of our species. Think about it. Back then, the Earth was ruled by incredibly powerful creatures. We're talking massive mammoths, giant predators, animals that were light years ahead of early humans in terms of raw physical strength, blinding speed, and natural built-in weapons. Humans? We couldn't run the fastest. We definitely didn't have the greatest physical power, and we sure didn't have dangerous claws or tough armor. And yet, today, we are the ones building massive skyscrapers, we're launching satellites into the far reaches of space, and we're literally planning missions to colonize other planets. How on earth did a physically weak species manage to survive, let alone completely dominate the entire planet?
Seriously, it's a valid question. If some alien intelligence had been hanging out observing early Earth, just looking at the raw data of physical combat and survival of the fittest, how could they have ever predicted that we would be the ones to come out on top? There is no way. The odds were entirely stacked against us. But the secret to our ultimate survival, the very reason we are even here today talking about this, comes down to one single, incredibly powerful word: intelligence.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, what exactly is intelligence?
So, we know intelligence is our ultimate survival tool, but actually defining what it is, well, that creates a massive philosophical roadblock. When we try to pin it down, our minds almost always jump straight to the academic stuff. Like, is intelligence simply the ability of someone to sit down in a quiet room and solve incredibly difficult, complex mathematical equations? We definitely call those people brilliant, for sure, but is that the only true definition of intelligence?
What about the arts? I mean, if a musician can compose a breathtaking melody, a piece of music so profoundly beautiful that it literally moves millions of people to tears and stirs these incredibly deep emotions, isn't that a form of genius? Is the ability to deeply understand and manipulate human emotion through sound a core part of what intelligence really is?
Let's step outside the human bubble for a second. If a dog can flawlessly read the subtle changes in its owner's mood and know exactly how to react to offer comfort, is that intelligence? Or picture a crow out in the wild that actually figures out how to bend a piece of wire to use as a tool just to extract food from a tight space. They're demonstrating absolutely incredible problem-solving skills and instincts. Does that count?
And then, of course, we have the modern frontier: artificial intelligence. If a computer program can outcalculate and completely defeat a human world chess champion, should we call that machine intelligent? I mean, it's processing information way faster and more efficiently than a human brain ever could.
The really surprising reality here is that despite centuries of intense debate, generations of top experts across both science and philosophy still cannot agree on a single, perfect, universal definition of intelligence. Every single generation has tried to crack this code and understand it fully, but the mystery remains remarkably unsolved. It's just such an incredibly broad concept.
Let's rewind a bit. Section 2, the evolutionary roots.
We often make this huge mistake of thinking intelligence just miraculously popped up overnight the moment humans walked onto the scene. Actually, scratch that. Its roots are millions of years older. Even when Earth was only populated by simple, primitive organisms, vital survival decisions were already happening. Literally, millions of years ago, a simple single-celled bacteria would physically move towards a food source and actively move away from harmful chemicals. Fast forward, and plants developed the amazing ability to literally change their growth direction to seek out sunlight. Then, early animals started learning from pure experience, remembering which environments were safe and which meant danger. These weren't just random actions. These were the very first, primitive sparks of intelligence at work.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that intelligence was not created in a single day. It developed incredibly slowly. It's like a giant puzzle that the relentless engine of evolution put together over countless generations. In every single generation, the organisms that could understand their environment just a tiny bit better and make slightly better decisions based on that understanding, well, they simply had a higher chance of surviving and passing on those traits. Nature basically rewards understanding.
All right, we're getting to the best part, Section 3, the engine of intelligence. If we strip away the complex math, the beautiful music, and the fancy chessboards, what is the actual, fundamental mechanism driving this ancient survival tool? Okay, get ready, because here's the big aha moment. At its absolute core, the engine of intelligence is prediction. That's it. It is the ability to accurately anticipate what is going to happen next based on the information you have right in front of you. It sounds deceptively simple, but it is the defining characteristic that separates the living from the dead in the natural world.
Let's look at some really high-stakes examples from nature to groundness. Imagine a deer walking through a dense jungle. If that deer hears a snapped twig or catches a faint smell and can correctly predict that a predator is hiding behind a specific bush, its life is saved. If its prediction is wrong, game over. It doesn't survive. A bird in flight constantly has to predict the direction and force of the wind just to stay up in the air. A wolf on a hunt absolutely must predict the exact path its prey is going to run in order to intercept it. Out in nature, prediction isn't some cute parlor trick. It is quite literally a matter of life and death.
Which brings us right back to you. Section 4. Your brain, the prediction machine.
Now, you might not be dodging predators in a jungle today, but humans make thousands upon thousands of micro-predictions every single day without even realizing it. When you cross a busy road, your brain is instantly calculating and predicting the speed of an oncoming car so you know exactly when it's safe to step off the curb. If you're playing cricket and trying to catch the ball, you are flawlessly predicting the exact arc and trajectory of that ball through the air. And get this, when you're just having a casual conversation with a friend, your brain is constantly predicting the next word they're going to say so you can process the dialogue smoothly. This predictive power of language, it's the very foundation that allowed us to build civilizations in the first place. You are quite literally an incredibly advanced prediction machine.
Which leaves us with this really profound thought. A massive part of our daily life is fundamentally a complex game of prediction. But for us humans, this goes way beyond mere survival. Our ability to predict the future is exactly what fuels our unique human imagination. Intelligence ultimately represents the sheer quality and accuracy of those predictions. The better you can predict the outcomes of your environment, the more intelligent you are behaving. So the very next time you effortlessly catch a tossed set of keys or safely cross a busy street, ask yourself, what incredible predictions and what amazing futures is your brain imagining right now? Think about that and keep exploring.